Give me the guillotine. Give me the baguettes, okay? It's time for Furina to get justices, okay? Okay, before we watch, though, when the live stream initially was supposed to be for last week, I wrote an entire 2 pages worth of just me rambling about theories and references that could possibly appear in the 4.2 live stream. I wrote 500 words for a possible live stream that never came out. So you guys are going to sit here and listen to me talk about 7 points that are 500 words about this live stream, okay? We're being pulled into a seminar, unbelievable. Yes, hello. This is Genshin Impact with Professor Eve. This is your quiz for what's going on and possibly going to happen in 4.2, okay? I have 7 points that I want to make before this live stream. All of this is like semi-based in what we know from the Genshin Impact story as of right now. Okay, here's my first point. The Oratress has to contain the Gnosis. There's such a significant reliance on this one machine that machine has so much power over everything in Fontaine, it wouldn't make sense for it not to contain the Gnosis. Unless Genshin goes, whoops, it's actually in the pools of Subaru where the original Hydra Archon died, the best place for it would be underneath our noses, or at least underneath Furina's nose from her box seat in the theater. Nuvalet might also be searching for or come into contact with the Gnosis at one point, since it was confirmed from the Archon quest that the 7 Archons' powers come from the 7 Dragon Sovereign's powers, and returning the Gnosis back to the Sovereign would restore their power. So feed Nuvalet the Gnosis to make him even more sexy. I mean, you could. I think you could. Here's my second point. It seems that the theme of Fontaine's story is similar to Sumeru's, in which there needs to be a separation between the past of who you'll become. Furina's definitely a branch or a spawn of the original Hydra Archon, and probably doesn't have the same abilities as her previous incarnation. As we saw with Mary Ann and Anne, it might take some time for Furina to come to her full Archon self, which is why she might be playing up the bravado of her being the Hydra Archon, since she's supposed to be playing that role. Every point that keeps happening from here is just going to be more unhinged, and I apologize in advance. Okay, my third point is that the Vishap people theory from the 3 Gateway event in Enconomia isn't fully answered. Nuvalet is confirmed to be the reborn Hydra Sovereign, as stated by the Bismal Vishap herd boss description. But there's still unanswered questions of if there are Vishap people. Maybe the people of Fontaine stemmed from Vishaps. If Oceanids can represent dragons as we see the Narcissus Crux adventure quest, I don't see why Oceanids can't be dragons who can be Vishaps. It could also explain why the people of Fontaine can dissolve in the primordial seawater and not those outside of it. Here's my fourth point. Speaking of Nuvalet, he has lied to us twice already, and I'm getting real suspicious of him. He lied to us in the 4.0 Archon quest about not knowing where the primordial sea was, and then he lied to us again in the 4.1 Archon quest about the cake. Call me petty, but I'm pretty sure he's going to do the exact same thing in 4.2. Okay, he said he would get us in jail and we agreed, so the cake is justified. I'm still mad. He didn't even tell us. He could have told us, like, yeah, I'm gonna, like, fake something. Here's a cake, please eat it. But, like, that's it. He's a liar. I think Nuvalet's a liar, okay? Here's my fifth point. There's also a lot of mentions of sinners with a lowercase s, but I wonder if there's going to be any tie with the sinner with a capital S when we first get introduced to it from Dainsleif in the Carrie Bear quest. I know technically it was the other sibling that experienced it, but they don't repeat words like that. Especially sinner has been referenced so many times in just Fontaine itself that I wonder if it's connected. Here's the long theory. Oh, wait, no. I have one more point before the long theory. Where's the Skyfrost nail? Where's the Skyfrost nail in Fontaine? We have not seen it. It's just missing. Where's the Skyfrost nail, guys? It's missing. About to fall. No, seriously, if it's not going to fall on Fontaine itself, absolutely cataclysmic destruction upon Fontaine, I'm going to be mad. Where's the nail? Okay, this one's going to be a long one, so I'm going to be rambling for a hot minute. But this is a long theory that has a bunch of references that I would like to point out. This one's going to be a long overarching theory, and I apologize for that in advance. In the last Archon quest, Riosley tells us the story of the Remurian dynasty. The king Remus came to what is now Fontaine and found a seer named Sibylla, who took on the form of a golden bee. Remus created a ship called the Fortuna to sail out and find new people to join his Remurian empire. That's basically a summary of what Risley told us. So, here are some references to IRL things. The name Remus most likely stems from the Roman mythological story about Romulus and Remus. To summarize that story, Romulus and Remus were descendants of a royal lineage that got usurped, and a new king that usurped the throne decided to try to murder the two kids under this lineage. He ordered a servant to carry out this deed since the usurper king didn't want to be punished by the gods or want to do the dirty work or something. The servant decided to spare their lives by placing the twins in a basket of the river Tiber. The children were discovered by a wolf who raised them and eventually were found by shepherds, and the two eventually grew up. After usurper's king's death, they didn't return to their rightful kingdom, but decided to create a new city. However, they each wanted it to be named something different and to be at a different location. They eventually got into an argument, and it resulted in Romulus building walls around the city that he wanted to create. Remus mocked him and basically kept jumping over the walls of the city, and Romulus was infuriated and killed Remus, and the city eventually became known as Rome. The name Sibylla in Greek means the prophetess or the oracle, but the name could also be tied to another tragic figure, the Queen of Jerusalem. She was the regent of Jerusalem after several of her husbands died due to disease and eventually claimed the throne, but died shortly after, also due to disease. While there's not much information on her as Remus, it's quite interesting that both of these names are tied to two very tragic figures. There isn't too much information about bees in European mythology specifically. I'm specifying European here because we're based in Fontaine. But bees were tied to prophecies in Greek mythology, and there also was a god of beekeeping, Aristaeus, who actually was involved in inadvertently killing Eurydice in the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. There was also Pythaia, a high priestess of the temple of Apollo, who was referred to as the Delphian bee. And also Apollo was the god of prophecies and music specifically. Remuria's history seems to be based on two stories from Christian ideology, as seen from the book The History of the Decline and Fall of Remuria. The most obvious one is Noah's Ark, found in the book of Genesis. The story, in short, is about when God sends a biblical flood to wipe out all of humanity because they were evil and wicked or full of sin. Before he does this, he tells Noah, a human he found favorable, to save two of each animal from the great flood and to build an ark that would help everyone survive while he yeeted humanity out of existence. After 40 days and 40 nights, Noah and everyone on the ark was able to get back on land, with God promising never to destroy Earth with a flood again. The second story that it could be based off of is Jonah and the Big Fish, or Jonah and the Whale, found in several different books, including the Book of Jonah. The book is about God commanding the prophet Jonah to preach to a city of Nineveh. However, Jonah complained about the city and refused God's command, deciding to book a ship away from the city. In response, God created a storm, and the crew of the ship decided to throw Jonah off the ship. Jonah was then swallowed up by a great fish, or aka a whale. Jonah repented after 3 days, and God commanded the whale to spit out Jonah. Jonah ended up preaching to that city, and then God spared the city. But Jonah was upset that he was spared the people that once did not preach him. Jonah then went outside to the city in the hot sun, and God sprouted a plant so that Jonah could sit under the shade. After a day, God sent a worm to destroy the plant that was giving him the shade, causing Jonah to complain again. In retort, God asked why he would have pity on a plant that lasted a day, and why couldn't God have pity on the people of the city? So, I want to tie these two stories with the theater show that we partake in with the 3.8 Summer Paradise event. To summarize that story, the story is about a Robin Hood-like bandit played by Kaya, who follows a shooting star through the desert and finds a lady in white who is inferred to be an Oceanid and played by Kokomi. The girl says that the star was the light of a bottle that she received from someone else. We then see from her perspective that her seeking refuge from her kingdom had a new claim to the throne. In the forest, she finds a mage played by Klee, who gives her a bottle, and then the mage starts her story about how she found the bottle. The mage finds the bottle beside a crescent lake and breathes a flame into the bottle, allowing it to grant one wish. The girl makes a wish to the bottle, saying to go to a place where people would never find her. However, if the bottle actually granted her wish, the bandit wouldn't have been able to find her in that desert. So the girl gives the bandit the bottle, and he wishes for light so he could bring it back to his homeland where there is no light. So it's also possible that this story could tie into the Care Bear storyline we're experiencing with Dainsleif in Sumeru, where we find out about the abyssal floating crystal that calls themselves a sinner with a capital S. There's too much talk of sinners in the Hole of Fontaine to not give this quest at least a mention, right? So here's the unhinged theory. What if the previous Hydra Archon caused some type of great sin, possibly in connection with either the desert when we know the previous Hydra Archon's dead body is there, or in Enkanomiya, if we tie this to the Summer Paradise event story where the bandit brings light back to a dark world. This sin could also either be one of the 6 forbidden rules that were mentioned by the Academia, or possibly assisting and protecting the Vishaps. This could also possibly tie in with the Moon Sisters and the fact that the Seelie race became what they are now because they fell in love with humans, if we consider that dragons are Oceanids, and if Oceanids are dragons, then Oceanids could also be Seelies, right? So, it's possible maybe that the sin was so great that some force created the biblical flood in the form of the primordial seawater. Whether it was sent by the Abyss or Celestia, we don't exactly know yet. The people were wiped out by the primordial sea, would be Jonah in this scenario, and the Remuria dynasty could be the Noah in this story, right? The previous Hydra Archon created the Fortress of Meropide to guard their secret. What if the people who escaped underground in this fortress for protection started forgetting what the overworld was like, and Remus would then escape the underground and journey with Sibylla, eventually creating the kingdom that would eventually become Fontaine. I would also like to put the notion forward that Remus, the king of the Remurian dynasty, is also possibly Conrian, or has ties to Primordial One, the Vishaps, or was a love child between the human and Seelie, because it seems like he would represent that sin. But that's just a theory.
Though it appears that you've managed to win over part of the crowd,
She's so cute.
some of your testimony doesn't add up. You can be rest assured that I, Furina, the god of justice, will get to the bottom of this matter. No detail shall escape me. Yes, that sounds perfect.
I love that the spotlight zooms in on her for her own thoughts. That's such a nice detail.
Any detail to slip through the cracks. My dear citizens, just as the will of a god remains opaque to the understanding of mere mortals, so too is truth unmoved by even the strongest of wills. I will now speak to the defendant. If you honor the values of truth, justice, and divinity, then you are compelled to
Truth,
provide
justice,
an
and divinity is so
account of your
specific.
actions. Hey, that's not bad. Now what's next?
I love that she's like this.
It's so hard to predict how people are going to react. What should I say during the trial tomorrow?
Lady Furina, what are you doing?
Oh, Nervillette! As the god of justice,
She's so cute.
it is only expected that I should remain informed of every trial and make the necessary preparations. Is there something
The way he has come on to this monologue is great.
If you wish to seek an audience with me, then please make an appointment with Sir Intendant Chevalmeron in advance.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nouvelette needs to make an appointment with
According to
you?
the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique de l'Alice Cardinal, the Hydro Archon
Oh.
be punished via the death sentence.
What? Oh my god, we're getting the guillotines! Let's go,
You
guillotine
and I both
time!
know that there may be issues with the primordial sea.
Everyone on the street
What is that
who
tree?
happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared.
Oh, so they died. Great.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful?
No.
What's done is done. Just
Ooh.
trust in me. You're
What is
all
this?
gone. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not.
Oh, I love her music. Wait. It's a bop! Wait, hold on.
The show begins. Ah.
Oh my gosh, she's such a theater kid. I love her. Look at the outfit! That's so cute! Oh, she has little companions. Wait. Charlotte! We love our little photographers, journalism girly.
Say cheese.
know you're
Oh no, I have to pull for both of them. I love them.
Too close to any water.
Navia?
Looks strange all the same. There's something ominous about it.
No!
Well, the water, I mean.
Navia?
The prophecy. Yes. What has been prophesized will be fulfilled. I, Furina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice.
This judgment is fair and just.
What is that?
You would call
You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be.
No more excuses.
Then why should we acknowledge it?
Is that wait? That's the institute.
Applaud and rejoice.
Just a moment. This isn't right.
The trial of the Hydro Archon.
Seem to remember
the floor will now
this trial is...
I now understand the true purpose behind this position.
Wait, is that the sky? Oh my god, Dragon Nouvelle!
For Salor.
Child?
Everyone's dead. Papa, what should I do?
The sky is fake!
The prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
Who is that? Wait, that's the missing person!
I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you. All will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Oh, this splash screen. First of all, if anyone hurts my baby Nouvellette, if anyone hurts my baby girl, I'm going to write her. Do you think it's Skirk? Because we're actually missing one character from the Feast of Fontaine trailer that we got like way before Fontaine ever got released, right? Sorry for an A, give me a second. We're missing Igaria. I think that's Igaria. Chinese Genshin Twitter confirmed it's Skirk. So where is Igaria? We're still missing her. We have no information on Igaria right now. It would make sense if it's Skirk because Tartaglia and the Whaler here, surely Skirk is going to show up for her student. Honestly, it would make sense because the entire time, I think during the quest, Tartaglia was talking about the fact of the whale and how he's still missing, trying to find Skirk, and there hasn't been any conclusion with that. But where is Igaria? She could be both Igaria and Skirk. Skirk could be her just like her cover name, similar to how like the Fatui have two different names. She looks like she's from Honkai Impact 3rd. I'm not gonna lie. The straps she has, the feather in her hair, like it's very not Fontainian. Skirk is one of the Descenders, so she actually came from Honkai. No, honestly, that would make sense if she was a Descender, right? Because there are how many Descenders besides us? Like 5 more? So this tree is giving the same energy as the Amrita pool in Sumeru. Don't at me for color palette theorying, okay? But like it has the same colors. It's a very similar shape, but it looks like Irminsul, but very curvy. I'm genuinely certain that there's going to be a lot of ties between Sumeru and Fontaine just because of how intertwined the gods are with like those areas.
Papa, what should I do?
Wait, wasn't that was Carrie Bear's voice, wasn't it? When they say, Papa, what should I do? That sounds so much like Carrie Bear's voice. I don't think it can be Carrie Bear either, but it wouldn't. But why would he be here? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but it sounds like him. You think it's Navia crying and panicking? It could also be that, but it doesn't sound like her, though. Was it just me or the unknown, possibly Skirk Girl in the same plane of existence as the Space Whale? Yes, and we've seen that particular color of, like, plane before, specifically with the Traveler. The last time we were in the chasm, I think there was a similar place when we were trying to look for our sibling, or at least when we were dreaming and looking for our sibling past the door that Ito tries to break into. It's the same color. It's like the same atmosphere. I think that might be a pocket of the abyss. Oh, ooh. Wait, have they done this before? So if you guys don't know, the little gems that we get to ascend our characters, the descriptions are usually from the voice of and perspective of the Archon themselves. So the Hydra one says, "My ideals have no stains. I must correct you. People here bear no sins in the eyes of gods. Only laws and the tribunal can judge someone. They can judge even me. So praise magnificence and purity. Which is very interesting that they would list this very specifically with the Archon quest. I'm so excited.
Why are you just standing there with your mouth gaping? You must be stunned and at a loss for words. Understandable. It is I, after all.
Perpetual muse of chansons and rondo.
Furina.
Wait, why is her little caption thing about music? That's very interesting.
I'm on a very tight schedule, so you're lucky to even get an appointment with me. Being too popular can be.
Is she sitting on the hydro bubble? That's so cute. Wait.
The people would adore me so much.
She's such a gremlin. I love her. Wait, why did she do the Dory spin? I'm screaming. Wait, she does that little bubble sitting and then spinning around.
Pose. Let the world come alive! Those creatures are actually special guests of the Salon Solitaire.
The what now?
And she even gave each member a name.
Oh my gosh. So what are their names?
So you've got the maid, Mademoiselle Crabaletta.
Mademoiselle Crabaletta?
The crab, the one that's a crab, I assume.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And then you've got the housekeeper, Sir Intendant Cheval Moran.
What?
Oh, there he is.
And the conferencier, Gentilhomme Usher.
Oh.
Is the fish's name Usher? I love him. I love him so much.
Okay. So when Furina said to make an appointment with Sir
Bubbles!
this is who she was referring to?
Yes.
I love her.
I didn't know it was so cute.
Exactly. Furina even makes him spew bubbles in her idol animation.
Oh,
That's the cutest thing I have ever seen.
Furina's charged attack not only deals physical damage, but also allows her to switch between Usia and Numa Arca alignments.
What?
Whoa.
Wow. Based on what we just saw, it seems like her
So she
Arca
can
alignment has an
change
effect on her
alignments?
other skills as well.
Yes, sure does.
That's
Furina's
actually really
elemental
cool.
skill attack to switch to a Numa Arca alignment. Her elemental skill summons the Singer of Many
the
Waters
back of her dress
to provide
changes to
healing
the
nearby
different
party
color.
members.
Oh, nice.
Yes. The summons created by Furina's elemental skill will remain on the field for a period of time even after Furina is switched out. Furina's elemental
She does a quick
burst
change.
deals
She's
damage
such a
to
theater
surrounding
girl.
opponents. And when the
Oh
party
my
member's
god, a
HP
10-second quick change. You
increases
love
or
to see it.
decreases, I suppose.
Also, wait. Hold on. Pause that. Wait. Back up. I just realized that when she puts down this thing for her E, it looks like an oceanid. It does like the Narcissus dragon. It's shaped in the same way too. It looks like it's curved around a pillar.
Yay!
I love Charlotte.
So cute. And Monsieur Verte is so cute, even has his own little hat and tie.
I cannot believe the camera's name is Monsieur Verte as
from Chiori.
he should.
She
I'm
even
sorry.
commissioned
That's so
Monsieur
cute.
Verite's accessories in several different styles to match.
You're not a
different
photographer
interview
if you don't
settings.
name your camera, and that's the truth.
That is pretty thoughtful. I suppose that just shows how much Charlotte cherishes her own Monsieur Verite.
If you keep your eyes peeled and your mind engaged,
Oh, she holds up a
there's always a new story
newspaper!
nearby just waiting to be discovered. Say cheese!
Okay, she has the yellow alignment. Okay. Interesting. It's very similar to Nahita's, except it has a zoom in.
When paired with Fontaine characters, Charlotte receives a healing bonus. When paired with non-Fontaine characters, she receives a cryo damage bonus.
That's
Now that
really
is not
interesting
all. There
how they
is
built her
more.
kit.
During
So
the
she's supposed to
4.2
be
special
similar
event,
to a,
travelers can complete a quest to receive
DPS.
a special gadget called
Okay.
So, Furina and Charlotte will both be featured in version 4.2
On first banner with
Event
Furina?
Wishes.
Ooh.
In the first half of version 4.2, we'll have event
Wait.
wishes showcasing
Wait. Okay, Baiju exists, right? Baiju exists. I'm pulling for Furina. I have to. It's nice that Charlotte's gonna be with Furina, honestly. Like, if you wanted Charlotte, then you can have her with Furina, especially because a lot of people are pulling Furina because she's an Archon. Don't look at the side of Charlotte. There will be Among Us. What? What do you mean? Oh, wait, no, there is. It's like, it's half there. It's the shadow, the light part. It's kind of there. How did you find that? I'm not even gonna ask how you find that. I knew how you found that, but like, why did you point that out? Someone taking a look at our pits too much, and have you learned nothing from the Yelan incident? It's the camera with the hat. There's no Among Us with the carrot. Guys, what are you guys seeing? What are you guys looking at? You mean this? This is the Among Us? Guys, come on. Guys. Not everything is an Among Us.
A new 5-star sword, Splendor of Tranquil Waters.
It looks so nice. It looks so nice. Look how pretty this is. It has the little fencing protection thing. It's very fancy. It looks like Narcissan, like kind of like curling up against the tower of the Narcissan Crux quest. It's so nice. Also, I just realized the bottom of the sword is the shape that we see of the giant water thing that drops down on the stage of the Opera Epiclese. Like, it's very interesting that they use the same iconography.
And in the second half of version 4.2...
Interesting. Cyno and Ayato together? So a taser team? If you are a new Genshin player, Cyno has a very, very long Q. He has a very long burst. If you like Electro teams and you like 1v1 combat, I think he's very good as a main DPS. He is a little bit finicky. You do have to farm for Scarabs, which is probably the most negative point about getting Cyno, but he is a very, very fun character. Ayato is also a very fun DPS character. If you like not big damage numbers, but very consistent attacks with his E, they just go really fast back to back. He's a very fun character to play, especially since Fontaine's current Abyss uses a lot of Hydro, or at least has a lot of Hydro boosts. He's also very good for Abyss at the moment as a main DPS if you don't have a main DPS. For the first banner, if you do not have a good Dendro healer, if you don't have like Yao Yao, I guess, Baiju is very fun. He is a mixed bag. He does scale off HP, which is actually very easy to get in terms of artifacts. He is fun if you enjoy his type of play style. He is kind of fun to play, but I would not recommend pulling on him. I would 100% out of all of these banners, I would recommend you pull on Furina. The fact that you, can switch between Numa and Osa for her charge attack. That is probably one of the best things that you can have for exploration. Secondly, the Archons generally are probably the best of their element, and Furina probably will not be any exception. So if you don't have a good Hydro support, which at this rate you can have Yelan, Xingqiu, there's a few others, but those being the main two. If you don't have either of those and you're looking for someone to do Hydro application, Furina seems like a very, 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 very good start for her, if you don't have that. Charlotte seems interesting. I think she's going to act similarly to Yanfei when she came out. She seems like she's a very good cryo DPS. Maybe she can act as a sub DPS, but I'm not entirely sure since her kit's kind of like a little confusing for me. But out of everyone on this banner, 100% go for Furina. The Archons are usually the best at what they do. And knowing the Abyss, Furina is going to have such a good boost in terms of meta. So
it says strange rumblings have been heard in the
look at that whale
waters.
Look at that boy.
Oh, it's here already?
Oh my god, the sky. Wait, are we on top of the sky?
Well, it looks like it's in a sea of pink and blue stars.
Oh my god, that's huge.
I recognize this whale.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Isn't this the whale that the
They added Blaha to Genshin Impact? I'm screaming. Also, I don't like it's cracking the sky 24/7.
Definitely your friend with this one.
Oh boy.
Isn't this child's whale? Okay, yes, it is.
Okay. So there also seems
to
be
upside down, maybe?
A progress bar next to the boss's HP bar. Yeah. What's that for?
Okay.
Mobile Genshin doesn't have floor reflections. I mean, there's still like particles in there. That's gonna be
just free
awful.
itself from-
Who's the sword character?
Oh man, this boss looks really, really tough.
It's like the
what
serpent
happens if we, for some reason,
chasm
can't defeat it?
people
Okay.
again.
This update actually helps with that problem. Starting from 4.2, an option will appear on the challenge failed screen to lower the difficulty of the boss if travelers are struggling to defeat them during a main quest.
Oh, they said easy mode,
Provides
okay.
a smoother gaming experience for travelers to enjoy.
Wait, that's actually really nice for new players.
love-
The winds blowing into the court of Fontaine from the east are perfumed with a mysterious sweet scent. In the depths of Aranis Forest, interesting, where a few dare to tread, a seed of adventure has been planted by the lakeside beneath the weeping willows. So, a funeral area, perhaps? Who knows how long the story guarded within the tall tower on the sea that the people ignore has been kept. Isn't there a short story called The Lighthouse? And I wonder if they're going to incorporate that short story into this specific area, maybe?
It looks like Furina is in
I don't
Aranis
like whatever that
Forest
is.
on the east side of Fontaine. And that's
I'm also
right
scared of that.
behind the Opera House.
Of course, it's right
What
behind
a
the Opera
cool
House.
place.
And another weeping willow.
Although,
The colors do remind me of Honkai Star Rail, though.
Secrets.
Definitely. Wouldn't be a video game if there weren't secrets.
Oh,
Things
yeah.
are definitely not what they seem here. Looks like she headed underwater to investigate.
Those
What did she
look like
find?
chasm
A
stuff.
number of
That looks like chasm goop.
bacterial mats.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of, there are always new things to discover beneath Fontaine's waters. In this
What
update,
the-
we'll encounter a new type of
What?
Fontamer aberrant, the xenochromatic ball octopus.
Ooh.
Travelers can borrow its abilities to cleanse away the contamination clots and contamination cores from the bacterial mats.
More
Pretty cool.
contamination stuff.
In
Interesting.
addition, with the help of a special device, travelers will be able to use this creature's abilities on the surface as well.
On the
It may
surface?
be the key to solving certain puzzles.
Okay,
or
for some
perhaps
reason
even
that's giving me
powering certain objects.
the
But we'll leave that
Sisyphus
for
ball.
you to
I don't know
discover.
why. All right, what's
All right,
these
The
events?
Fontaine Fishing Association has recently posted a
Pear! It's Pear! Guys, look at him! And we get a free Fremi! I love him so much! I know we're sponsored by Genshin Impact today, but I would like to make my official declaration. This is copyright infringement on my likeness. They put me in the game. Mario, if you were gonna put me in the game, at least let me voice the bot. This is so cute. I love him so much. You're missing the crown, so it's not copyright? Are you telling me this isn't the same character? We are just the same character. This is me. This is real. This is me. Yes, it is I, Pear from Genshin Impact.
That little clockwork penguin next to him must be one of his other companions. But it doesn't look like Pear.
Actually, its name is Thelxie. The name comes from a
Thelxie, I love
Fontanian fairy tale
Thelxie.
that describes a terrifying creature that lives underwater. Adults would use the story to keep children away from the shore. As the story goes, children who play by the water are food for Thelxie to devour.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, so it's
Real.
terrifying.
Well,
I love
children
him.
must be-
I
As
need
for the first stage,
improvement. Oh
we'll
God,
repair the
they
penguin by
opened the
fixing
penguin
its
up.
circuits
Oh, but it's
and
so cute.
reconnecting the motherboard.
It's
In
so
return,
cute.
The little guy will help us out on our journey.
Oh, it's so
I love
cute.
that.
And speaking of fun,
We get Pokemon
guys, I think I recognize some familiar faces.
Wait, hold on.
Bongohead, it's time.
I love this little splash art of Bongo Head. So cute.
We actually have a little note here to pass along from our developer friends.
Interesting.
It's the note someone folding. While they hope to make the little fungi and some other events permanent so travelers can play at any time, the team feels that the current design doesn't adequately sustain long-term gameplay.
So they
they're
might
gonna
make this a
continue iterating,
game mode
optimizing,
permanent
and
at some
improving
point.
this event, while
Interesting.
also working hard to develop interesting content that is relevant to the overall game. Thanks,
Interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
So they might make this into a full-fledged
right.
thing once they
Okay,
figure out the
let's
kinks
take
with
a look
everything.
at what
Okay.
else Furina's itinerary
That's
has
very,
in
very
store.
interesting.
Let's get into
Let's
it.
go.
Okay.
TCG
First up
update,
is
of
the
course.
quick challenge feature for weekly bosses.
This is
New
really
players
nice for
or
new players.
who prefer to spend their time exploring may have yet to unlock certain weekly bosses, and it's difficult to raise new characters when you can't access the boss drops needed to ascend a certain character.
Totally.
True.
In version 4.2, travelers who are at adventure rank 40 or above will have the option to quick challenge a weekly boss by navigating to the Trounce Domain section of the Adventure Handbook. All weekly bosses will be available to challenge, except Storm Terror and the Wolf of the North.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, now we don't have to
R.I.P. Mondstadt characters, basically.
3 new character cards and 5 new action cards will be
Baiju,
added. There will
Nilu,
also
and
be
Dory.
Accelerate Duel
Okay.
feature, which will provide a smoother gaming experience.
You can enjoy new story quests and hangout events.
8 keys. 8 keys.
Amazing. Red notification dots have also been optimized. Notifications that have already been cleared will no longer reappear when logging in on a different platform.
Let's go!
Quest
No
optimizations
more
will
red
also be available in version 4.2.
No more red dots. Guys, did you hear that? Oh my god, the worst traitorous thing in Genshin has finally been removed. The red dots are gonna leave. Let's go! That's probably the best optimization thing I have ever seen. Oh, thank you, Hoyoverse. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, and see you all in game.
Bye.
Bye. Toodaloo.
Oh, what? What is this? Dear Traveler, your audience with the god of justice, Regina of many waters, and the most popular celebrity in all of Fontaine, Lady Furina, has been granted. The appointment time is November 8th, 2023. Please make sure to come on time as Lady Furina will be awaiting your arrival. Surindante Shivamurin. I did not pronounce that right. I'm so sorry. That's such a cute ending thing. I love the little seahorse thing. It's so cute. Regina of many waters, right? She is in fact Regina George, okay? Tell me Furina isn't. I'm Miss Regina George. And I am a massive deal. Like, tell me she is not a mean girl, okay? But that's the Genshin live stream. It was good. I'm very excited. We are finally having our guillotine moment, and this is all I wanted out of Fontaine. Give me the guillotine. Give me the baguettes, okay? It's time for Furina to get justices, okay?